The backbone of any moderately sized channel is the equipment and workflow that lets us produce content that releases to you, our amazing fans, week after week. Luckily, we have had the support of Seagate since the beginning. You wanted to know what it takes to make Robeytech videos happen, what our workflow's like? Well, let's show you. YouTube has a ton of different types of content, but when it comes to tech here, there are some massive players in the space. I know to many of you I'm preaching in the choir, but we're talking about folks like Linus, Jay, Steve, Paul, Greg, and of course Bitwit or Kyle from time to time. Now, when I was doing live streaming of builds in 2019, we began to plan to kind of start YouTube. We knew that we wanted to be as big, if not bigger one day, than some of those current content makers in the space. I mean, come on, it's good to dream. We want to dream, right? Like if you dream small, you're not going to accomplish big things. Now, how I was different, and many of you already know this, is the fact that we weren't doing everything in the traditional sense when we make a video, then we edit it and we post it on YouTube. Now, much of our best content is made live, and we knew that it was a key for us to turning that live content, which as a reminder can be 4 or even up to 10 hours long, and turn it into that polished, shorter content that so many of you expect when you watch us TechTubers here on YouTube or anywhere else. The awesome thing is that I had actually, through my time of building and all of those awesome PCs over on Mixer, yes, Mixer was a real thing, RIP. Let's press F in the comments to pay our respects. Anyway, because of our size and scale and viewership, a little company called Seagate, you might have heard of them, was down to help us turn this dream of taking our live content and turning it into a world of awesome VOD content that was at the quality level or on par with the heavy hitters at the time. Now at that time, you need to remember, I was kind of blazing a trail. Sure, Linus and others had been doing live builds before our streaming, but they were one-offs, and the resources and crew to pull those things off were well above and beyond someone who was just starting off in the space. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wasn't gonna do something that was going to bankrupt me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, heck, I didn't even know at the time I was gonna be a full-time content creator. I was just dabbling in the whole thing, never expecting it to be as big as it actually was going to get. I needed a system that would allow me to do all of my filming on my own, let me record for the duration of a full stream, and also then to be able to hand off that material to an editor to turn this into something that was smaller and curated like the content you watch today on YouTube. Now, thanks to my time at Xbox and working on big production teams at E3 and at Mixer Studios, and the fact that my brother-in-law was an award-winning documentary maker who had done a ton of stuff in film, I was able to solve the first problem. That problem was recording everything by myself with a crew of one. So here's what we did, and you're kind of getting a look at this now. We took multiple Sony cameras. These are all A7 Mark IIIs, except for our top camera, which is an A6400. Using the Atomos Ninja 5 recording monitors that were all connected via a system called Atomos Atom X Sync. What this allows me to do, guys, is I can push a single button on a main camera, which you may have seen me do on a stream, and then with that single button, start all of the cameras. So now all of the cameras are recording, including our Zoom F6 audio system, and have everything time synced and ready to go. In fact, people still come into our studio and are just surprised at just how seamless the system works. One thing down. We had the way to run things with me switching cameras, and then on the stream being able to move angles so you guys can basically see angles everywhere. But at the same time, we're recording every single camera raw, so our editors can turn it into the content that they want to afterwards. Like our awesome Ultimate Case Review series, which are our streams, but they're cut very different than what you've seen on the live stuff because our editors are finding the best parts, and then what they're doing is they're giving you a new cut that's better for YouTube, and it doesn't have any of the overlays or anything like that. But they are big. And that's the next part. That's where we really needed Seagate though. We were recording 4K ProRes, which takes up a lot of space, and we're writing to a drive over and over and over again. I mean, these things couldn't be like your normal, just off the shelf ones that you throw inside of a PC. So we worked with Seagate and we told them what we needed, and they provided us with the solution. 16 Seagate FireCuda 120 SSD 2TB drives. These drives come with a 5-year limited warranty, 560/540 megabit per second sequential read and write. Yeah, which I know you're like, NVMe's, guys, trust me. We needed something more reliable, like 1.8 million hours mean time to failure and 3 years of the rescue service should we have anything fail. We've been using these things non-stop since we created the channel and we got to this point and we've had not a single one of the drives failed. This allows us to capture 4 episodes, meaning we could have hard drives with our editors at any one time and still have drives should we need to record something live at any one point. And remember, these streams are large, so we needed to make sure we had that flexibility. And life was good. And Robeytech grew and grew until now we had another problem. As we produced more and more content and made more and more videos, we started to run out of space in which to store our episodes and our assets and all of the other things we started to make. So we had some options. I mean, sure, we could spend a fortune in online cloud storage, but it had challenges. What we needed was something we could control and create a central location for us to dump everything onto, and not have our editors running around with drives, and also having security issues with having proprietary corporate information from some of the companies we work with on places like Google, etc., where you don't have that kind of privacy. What we needed was NAS. And I mean, when you say it, it sounds so cool. NAS. I mean, when you say it like this, NAS. Okay, to be clear, not NOS. I mean, this isn't the car channel yet. Now NAS with NOS would actually be pretty rad, but we're not doing, that's not invented yet. So we're just talking about NAS, and it feels like a rock song, like, we got NAS, NAS, anyway, enough of that. Well, NAS, or Network Attached Storage, is an intelligent storage device connected to your local area network, either at home or your office, to store all your awesome work files, or tens of billions of kitty memes, or PC memes in this case. You can essentially access it via a web browser, mobile apps, or other various services like FTP to help share that content amongst your team or even the folks you're collaborating with, like Corsair or Seagate or whomever, right? The point is we had a central location we controlled, that no one else was getting access to proprietary information, and also allowed us to just upload the content once it was recorded, reducing the chance that these very expensive SSDs don't walk off or disappear with our edits working or being on remote location. Now, at this time, we had just crested about 100,000 subscribers, and we were doing a couple of live streams a week and maybe one video a week. Sometimes, guys, when it got crazy, we did 2. Now, this was important data, and as we did our research, we knew we needed to partner up with Seagate again to ensure that not only did we have the space we need, but with the videos, raw assets, and all of our critical data was actually going to be intact and savable should something crazy happen. And do you think crazy things don't happen? I mean, geez, look at poor Linus, right? And they were on the brink of having something terrible happen if they hadn't discovered the issue with their own NAS. So, we reached out to Seagate, who paired us up with QNAP to get us started with our first NAS. That's right, we had a first. The TS453D. They named it the same way they name monitors. You just taped a keyboard to the face and went blah, 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 and then we were like, oh, TS453D. And we also got 4 of Seagate's own Iron Wolf 8TB NAS hard drives and a single 960GB Iron Wolf Pro 125 SSD. Now you might be asking, Robey, what's the difference? I mean, what's Pro versus just a normal? And the thing is, it has to do with endurance and the ability to safely get data off of it should there be a problem. I mean, this is secure stuff, right? And not secure as turned like Fort Knox, but secure in the way that you mean that your data is safe and is going to endure over long reads, writes, etc. I mean, guys, at this point in time, we were legit. We had a NAS, and that made us real YouTubers. I mean, we had made it. I mean, we would have gotten the t-shirt that said, we have NAS, but then people just would have stared at us like it was some sort of like, I don't know, bowel syndrome or something like that. Maybe we should come up with a better name for NAS or whatever it is. Anyway, look at all of our important data. We had a place to put it, and we stared at our little box. In fact, if you want to check out the video where we actually built the whole thing live, you can see how excited I was. But, you know, our little box was important, and it made us proud. Now, the best part, though, because of Seagate, our workflow got easier. Because, see, at the same time all of this was happening, our team was growing. And with COVID essentially in full swing at that point in time, working on site wasn't really going to be a thing. So thanks to Seagate and QNAP, we now had a central repository that if we had any issues with anything, we could get our data back due to rescue data, and we had just a place that was easy for us to access that we had full control of. But things changed, guys. 2021 was actually a big year for Robeytech. we crested over 250,000 subscribers. I had decided to quit my job at Halo and pursue a career as a full-time content creator, which, guys, that's some scary stuff. I didn't have the billions of dollars of Microsoft as a safety net. It was just me and me supporting my team, trying very hard not to screw it up. And if you've been watching things recently, you know how easy it can be to just screw things up. Trust me, we're not doing any of that shady stuff. Now, we were doing remote shoots with crews like with Cliffy B, where we had a full crew on site, 5 cameras, 2 locations. We had a car rig and a full crew of 5 people at all time. That's a ton of coordination, a lot of cameras, and a ton of footage. And it wasn't just that. You could see us repeating that with Atlanta in Intel and Miami with Origins. The needs of our channel grew. 16 terabytes, as awesome as it was, just wasn't cutting it anymore. We went from doing 2 live streams a week and a video to doing 5 streams a week across multiple platforms, and also up to 3 videos of YouTube, sometimes 4 in a week. And that's not to mention all the custom reels, custom videos on TikTok, and all of the other content we make, as many times as 18 or 19 pieces of content a week. The needs and the reach of Robeytech were growing, and we needed storage and data sharing that grew with us. So we went back to the people who had helped us so many times before, this time groveling, like crawling, and explaining our problem to both QNAP and to Seagate what we had on our plate. Now, they came through. Guys, not with more 8 terabyte drives, no. We were talking about 12, 20 terabyte Seagate Iron Wolf Pro drives. I mean, 20 terabytes in my mind, it still just blows my mind that you could get 20 terabytes on a single drive. And the fact of the matter, they had just released and they were giving us the best of the best in terms of what we had. We had 4 Iron Wolf 125 4 terabyte SSDs and 2 terabyte Iron Wolf 525 NVMe SSDs. Now that wasn't it. That was all in our mega QNAP TVS H1688X. Yeah, you know, there's gonna be a test at the end of this. But they also gave us 8 16 terabyte Iron Wolf Pro drives for our QNAP DAS, which is, if you don't know what a DAS is, it's basically just a dumb NAS that attaches to your NAS, which is our TL-D800C, as well as 4 18 terabyte Iron Wolf Pro drives for our 2 editors QNAP TS453-4G systems. Again, man, those model names. Now those smaller ones are for our editors. In fact, we're now at the point where we have 1 NAS, 1 DAS, and we have multiple editors who now have their own NASs, so that as they're pulling down these massive, like, you know, the 10-hour Halo stream, you gotta store that somewhere. And you know what, even if we've got 4 terabyte FireCuda 530s in their drives, you just need space. And so that's what these things provided. And they could all connect with each other, they could all talk to each other. It was absolutely awesome. This is 512 terabytes of raw storage capacity, and once again, we were set for the future. Until we need our own petabyte RAID arrays like the fine folks over at Linus Tech Tips. Just from a sheer tech and support perspective, the real impressive bit is how much Seagate has powered the growth of Robeytech. It's like we have Seagate in our veins, and I'm super appreciative of how they've helped us basically solve our deep technical problems. From driving our recording and content creation engine with the Atomoses and the Atomos X Sync system, being the scratch drive and NVMe storage solutions in our workstations and editing rigs, all the way up to how we collaborate and edit our content through the use of our NAS. Seagate has been there every single step of the way, allowing us to have safety and reliability of the drives, as well as knowing that they can handle the punishment of literally hundreds of terabytes of data we shove through our pipelines every week. So that's it. That's how we make our content, and that's how we partner with people like Seagate, enabling us to do our best work. And that's gonna do it for this episode. So what did you think of this video? Do you like videos like this? A little insight in telling us you can actually make a little cash in the process. All you gotta do is make sure you leave a quality comment down below, along with liking and subscribing to the channel. Now, when I say quality comment, it doesn't need to be positive. It just needs to be something about the video, whether you liked it, what you didn't like it, what we can do to improve it. We want your feedback, and this is how you can help us get better. Now, it just can't be something like, I deserve to win, can I have a free PC, or something similarly stupid or lame. You also need to ensure we have a way to reach you on your YouTube profile, so put your email in your YouTube profile. We'll be giving away $25 to one lucky comment below, worldwide, as long as you can accept PayPal or Venmo. So, did you like the video? Was the information helpful? Did you learn anything? Was it in-depth enough? What else would you like to see around the subject? How can we make it better? We'd love to know all of that and more down in the comments below. Now, while you're down there, make sure you slap that subscribe button, whip that like button, and ring that notification bell so you get a notification each and every time we post a new video right here on Robeytech. Did you know we actually have a live stream channel as well? Robeytech Live. Check out Robeytech Live down in the description below so you can like and subscribe and know every time we go live over there. Have questions about what we did, setting up NAS, or any other tech-related questions, and check out our amazing Discord server filled with other tech and PC enthusiasts who would love to share their thoughts and ideas on these very subjects. Are you looking for cheap tech, like cheap NAS or cheap drives or whatever? Then check out @robeytechdeals.com or @robeytechdeals on Twitter. We have our guy Tom scouring the internet for the best deals on all things tech, from PC components, TVs, games, you name it. Finally, you can also follow me and my entire team on all our other socials @Robeytech, absolutely everywhere. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.